Hey, Seekers, it is my prayer that this broadcast finds you all well. It's Thursday, and the possibly tough week for you is over. And if it isn't, here is your dose of hope to maintain your endurance. Okay. So over the last couple of weeks, we have journeyed together in our along the way series. We have changed or adjusted our perspective, and we've actively engaged our faith with and through candid conversations with the Nieveses, right? On episode 2. Then we share with you just how to identify the things that steal your time and replace them with the fruitful or God thing. So today and even next week, what we're going to do is we are going to privately unpack, unpack, excuse me, what we have learned, right? And we are going to just enjoy some lightheartedness. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So let's get started.
Welcome to Insights to Strength. I'm your host, J Love, and this podcast was curated to remind you that you are not your circumstance. Join me as I encourage you through the Word of God, help you to identify your strengths, and vocally walk alongside you in purpose.
This particular episode was actually created on last weekend. So as I share with you all what that day was like for me, when I say today, I mean last week. Just showing y'all or letting you in a little bit more into my process. Okay. So today I made space for me. Right. It's no surprise of a thing to do, but it is something that I am again just becoming intentional about. I raised up out of my bed with a mental task list and handled my daily cares. I began to clean. I happily turned on some music and just enjoyed my own company, right? I docked my iPhone and played some Miley Cyrus. I played Whitney Houston, some gospel music, some reggae. I danced a little, created a workout playlist, and began to again dance. Right? I began to notice that my workout, inspired by the reggae music, was a mix of dance styles I once participated in. Yes, I was, and I am a dancer. I like rhythm sometimes, but I enjoy the art of it all. I once said that if it was not my obligation to be an educator, I probably would have taken dance a little bit more seriously. So, but going back to this workout, the combination of styles were ballet, they were African dance, praise dancing. I did a little bit of interpretive dancing, and y'all, a little twerk. Now, if you know me, you're probably laughing, right? You may very well be laughing because, again, I sometimes lack rhythm and I'm just really goofy, right? So, those friends and family members of mine, they're probably just laughing listening to this episode. But today, I danced. I danced. Right? My mind began to do its own tricks. It began to create thoughts of greatness. Yeah, I thought I was going somewhere else with that, right? No, I was feeling creative. I was planning and I began to map out creative efforts and collaborations in my mind because I not only danced, but I created mental space and I allowed myself to be free. Right? I didn't have to worry about work. I didn't have to worry about gathering my students and transporting them from here to there. I didn't have to take a phone call or meeting on this day. I was not weighed down by any obligations other than to be. I was able to just be, right? Dancing brought me creative space that I didn't know that I needed. I finished cleaning and changing the linen on the bed. I I swept the floors. I started lighting candles and changing the scent of my wax melts. And then I sat. I was able to pay a bill. Then I renewed my library card. Yes, my library card. I have been putting it off, right? This renewal, because I hadn't had the time to go. So on this day, I had the time to get on the web, call the library, to get my PIN number. Right, I was able to share laughter with the guy from the circulation desk, and finally, the reason for it all: to gain access to the Libby system. The Libby system is an app that allows one to read ebooks and audiobooks 24/7. I don't have to worry about late fees anymore. And this was and is the reason that I decided to renew my library card. I immediately downloaded a book that I had purchased, but again, not having the time to read, I can now listen to Becoming by the Mrs. Michelle Obama. I ecstatically began to read and listen to it. Then I began to check out other titles of books that I've been wanting to read but haven't been able to sit long enough to do. Ta-Nehisi Coates' book Between the World and Me, White Rage, which is the unspoken truth of our racial divide by Carol Anderson, and soon Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man by Emmanuel Aiko. So go ahead and download Libby today and enjoy reading on the go like I am not able to do. Because I danced, I was able to sit in my kitchen at my three-piece pub style table that I found on accident when searching high and low for a washer and a dryer set. I haven't sat at this table to enjoy eating in so long. Like it had been a while, probably almost a year, right? So I sat and listened to our former Lotus read her own book to me because I took the time to dance. So now I get to write and share my thoughts with y'all for the same reason. Your form of relaxation and self-care, it may very well look entirely different from mine. And I'm cool with that, right? I am writing this to you in order to say this: relax. Seal that moment of quiet and embrace it. Let that quiet moment be louder than the kids running through the house. Let it be louder than your agenda or your calendar. Allow yourself to breathe deeply and exhale loudly. And if a few tears decide to join you, so what? Let them fall and call them your comfort friends for the moment, because right now it's the hug you didn't know you needed. Mhm. I leave you with this thought: I'm glad in God, far happier than you would ever guess. Happy that you are again showing such strong concern for me. I've learned by now to be quite content, whatever my circumstances. I'm just as happy with little as with much, and with much as little. I found the recipe for being happy, whether full or hungry, hands full or empty. But whatever I have and wherever I am, I can make it through anything in the one who makes me who I can be and makes me who I can. That's Philippians 4, verse 10 through 11, and then verses 13 through 14, the message version. Okay, y'all, before I let you go, I want to just share these couple of invites with you and invite you to let your hair down with me or brush your hair with me if you're a guy that just so happened to be listening to my podcast, right? Go ahead, put your 360 wave grease on, get your water, your conditioner, whatever it is that you need, your cup of tea, right? I invite you all to virtually hang out with me and some of my entrepreneur friends on Push Press Pray this coming Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. In fact, we meet up every Sunday around 7 or 8 o'clock, depending on the week. But this week it so happened to be 7 o'clock. And we give you your weekly inspiration, right? Before the week even starts, right? We not only inspire you, but y'all, we laugh, we cry, we have fun, we just kind of enjoy each other. But I'm inviting you again to interact with us, right? Where this week's topic it pegs the question: is God on standby? Do you have him on call waiting, right? Or is call waiting immediately activated when you hear the call of God, right? When he's telling you to do something, you just like, hold on, Lord. Join us this Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Feel free to DM me on Instagram or on Facebook, where we are Insights to Strength on both platforms. Okay, so that I can go ahead and send you that link. And if you can't DM me, if you don't have Instagram or Facebook, guess what you can do? Click on the link that's in our show notes. Go ahead and register, right? And it's such a relaxed environment. You don't have to have your cameras on. It's virtual. We got other things to do too. Just in case you got to move about your house where maybe the kids' hair ain't done or whatever it may be. It's a relaxed environment, so it's no pressure, right? To just come and hang out. But we're dancing. We're celebrating being free, however free looks to you this week, right? And the last thing I ask for you to do is, if you want to share your strength story or share what your week has been like for you, and how you have overcome. I call that your strength story, right? Feel free to also submit those to me via email at insightstostrength at gmail, or again on our Facebook and Instagram platforms. As always, I have been your host, J Love, and I am exiting the building. But as always, y'all, keep praying, keep pressing, and stand tall. I will meet up with y'all next week. Ciao. Hey, Seekers. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. You could even send a voicemail by clicking the link in our show notes. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook at Insights to Strength. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.